We all want healthy discus, right? So today, from our kitchen to yours, we're going to show you the recipe that we've been doing for many years, which keeps us with our discus and keep them thriving and growing strong. So stay tuned and we'll see you in the kitchen. To Blue Fin Aquatics. My name's Andrew, and today's topic we're going to be making up some of our what we call discus protein cubes for our discus, as we all want healthy discus. So what I'm going to go through today, I'm going to show you the ingredients that we use, and hopefully you can replicate that when you're in your own kitchen. So welcome to our kitchen, and let's get started. So first thing, we're going to go through and show you exactly what we use to make our discus cubes. So to start off with, believe it or not, we're going to use the Nan's baby milk powder, which is full of proteins and minerals and so forth. Same thing for your discus. They all also need the protein and the minerals to help along the way. Not sure if anyone else does that, but we do that. We've been doing it for many, many years, and we get great results from that. So that's one of the things we're going to be using. Also, obviously, everyone knows about using garlic. Garlic also helps with the medical side of things. It helps warn off diseases and things like that. So, and also for internal parasites as well. So garlic is a good one to use. Okay, and also, as we know with discus, with colouring and so forth, when they do come in, when they're imported, they use a colouring in there. But what we basically do, we use this chili red colouring, or you can use Paprika, which basically does the same thing. So both are just as good, and both give the same results. And also, we also use the blood red Parrot pellets. These are from Hikari, so we use those as well. We make a bit of a blender and put those in there as well. So we do try and soften those up, and they do soften in time when you make the mix in the blender. So that's another one that we do use. Also, we do use some flake food, just normal tropical flake food. We put that in there. So it just makes it bind together and makes it more solid, if you like. And basically, when we put them in the trays, which we're going to show you, will help you to understand what the flakes do to help bind it all through. Okay, and another thing also we do, and we don't do it to all the trays that we do, but we do put in here some medication in there. With this basic medication here is Metrodazole. This helps with the internal parasites as well if they get sick. So we generally add a few crushed tablets and put in through that and spread it around. So that's what else we use as a medication. And also we use this powder too, which is intestinal Hexamita. This is for worming as well. So we do try and worm our discus basically every 3 months or so. So this whole mix will separate. We'll have some that will have the medication in it, and some won't have the medication in. And that's how we split it up and write it on our packages. And also, of all, that is our beef mix there, our beef heart. Now, sometimes we put liver in it to soften it up a bit, to make it a bit more loose, but this time we don't have any, so we're just going to go straight with our beef heart, which has already been cleaned, deveined, and it's just pure beef heart meat. So try not have any fat to go into it, because they can't pass or digest the fat that's actually in the beef heart. So try and get it as clean as possible. And the other thing we also use too, I'll just step out of frame, is we also use a bit of fish, just cheap fish. This is in cry pack, so we just use cheap fish. We put that through just to add a bit of substance to the beef heart as well, so it's not so bland. So that's another thing that we do use. And last but not least, we've got our trusty blender, which we're going to blend it all up. We basically only use this one to do all the beef mixes. Once you go through it and do it, it does leave a bit of an odour behind, so best not to use Mum's blender. Try and get a cheaper one if you can. And these are our trays that we put them through. Now these trays are existing trays that used to have like bloodworms and so forth, these ones. So we've actually kept these, and this is how we get our cubes for our beef heart. And these are the other ones. These are the brine shrimp as well, the red ones that we use, and bloodworms. So we use these as well rather than throwing away. We reuse them and go from there pretty much. So what we're going to do now, we're just basically going to start. We're going to start adding our ingredients in, so everyone gets a bit of an idea of what we're actually doing. So basically the blender is actually ready to go. We're going to add a little bit of the beef heart. We're just going to make a small amount just to give you a bit of an idea, and then we'll complete the rest off the camera, make it a lot easier. So basically all we've got in here is a bit of beef heart in here, we're going to put some tropical flake in here. For the amount I've got in here, it won't be too much, so it's basically just a pinch which will be suffice to put in there. And also, as we spoke of in the very beginning, we're going to put some baby powder in here as well. And again, for the amount that we've got here, we're just going to use probably a scoop, which is actually plenty for it. So yeah, so don't be afraid to trial different things and do some reading, but we found that using baby milk for what it does for humans, it also works very well for discus as well. And also in this one, we're going to also use the chili powder. As I said before, you can use paprika, but we can use this red chili powder. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit in here just to help with the colouring. So that's enough. So basically we're looking at about half a teaspoon of that to put in there. All right, and with this one, we're not going to use the medication in this one, or we're going to use the Hexamita powder as well for the intestinal worms. We're going to use that in the next slide. So basically, to give you an idea, is we just add, in this contents, we add usually right about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, depending on the volume that you're making. And with the tablets that we're using here for Metrodiazole, we basically use 6 tablets in the making what we're doing now. And basically what we've got here, 6 tablets over a kilo of beef heart is absolutely plenty. All right, so again, we just feed that every 3 months or so, so we make it separately. So that's basically what we're going to use. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to put the lid on it, and we're going to make a bit of a noise, but this is how we go through and do it. All right, so bear with us. If we can get it going. Add some of the Hikari blood pellets. We don't want to put them in too soon, otherwise they become too soggy. We want just to have it there to bind everything together, like such as we do with the flakes. So we'll just put a bit of a pinchful in there, and then we'll go through and turn it on again. I think we're on the blender. Towards the end, we're just going to put a little bit of garlic. You can put all these things all at once, but we just put it in steadily, just showing you a smaller volume. Normally we'd make the whole big volume and we'd have all these ingredients together. Because we're doing a smaller volume, we're not putting as much in, so we're just gauging it from there. So we just mix all that in as well. So we'll just get this on. Okay. I think we're up for a new blender, I reckon. Oh, oops. Well, I think we are. I think the blender's gone and had it, I think. Oh, there we go. Okay, all right. Now, basically, your mix is going to look like this. So, basically, it's firm, but you're able to use it and mold it into your trays. So, from this position onwards, what we're basically going to do, we're going to get a knife. And all we're going to do is get a bit of the beef heart and put it into our tray, like so. I mean, with this mixer, you don't have to use a tray. You can use an ordinary snap lock bag if you want, and just flatten it out to the size that you want it. But we just do it handy. It's just easy to measure it that way. When we go to cut the cubes up, we just break it out of the mold here, out the tray, and then we just freeze it. So that's basically what we do. So, and I'm going to show you one that we've already done before. So you get the idea anyway. So it gets down and we just drop it down like that just to pat it down. But this is, I'll just show you what we've done previously. Oops. Okay. This out. Okay. So this is the finished product. Now this is in a snap lock bag. This one's actually got the Hexamita in here for the internal intestine worms. So also, this is basically how we do it. We just put it in a snap lock bag, seal it up this way, and we just stack them up one on top of the other. And all it basically is, you just let it defrost very slightly, or just run it under cold water so the tray comes away from the beef mix, and then you just slice it, and then the cubes, which is already marked out for you on the other side, being indented. So all we do is cut the cubes off, and then we just serve the cubes, whether they have 2 cubes, 3 cubes, depending on the volume of fish that you have in your tank there. So that is really about it and how we go about making it. So we hope you've gotten something out of what we're doing, and enjoy making it. Yes, there is a bit of a smell to it. So if you can do it outside, do it outside. But other than that, we find it's a very good, strong and healthy mix for our discus, and they do grow nice and healthy, and the colours are very deep. So yeah, go along and see how you feel with doing this mix. And for our tip of the week, which you'll all be waiting for, is, now believe it or not, we all sometimes get these bubble wraps in our products and so forth that we order online. Now we've been using bubble wrap as an insulation to put over the top of the tank, especially when it comes into winter and so where it gets a little bit cold. But just think about, instead of just throwing it in the bin, just put it over the top of your tank or cut it to size, just to cover those air spots, just retain the warmth in the tank. So again, we've used these on all our tanks, and we've been very successful with that. So rather than say throw the bubble wrap out, just use the bubble wrap on top, and you'll maintain the temperature in your tank. All right, well that's about it for this video. We look forward to having another video and showing you next time. By all means, if you wish to subscribe, please do, or press the like bell there. Other than that, happy fish keeping, and we'll see you next time.